we wanted this service to be a little more exciting than usual. So welcome to Northwest. It's a Unitarian Universalist congregation. I'm Joshua Berg, he, him. I am, if you can't see me, a white male with a brown beard that's graying at the sides, short brown hair, glasses, a green shirt, and a greenish floral bow tie. I am the worship leader for this morning's service. Tom Ott is our worship associate, and today I'm delighted to be here. We will recognize today and honor our Pastoral Care Team members. The Pastoral Care Team enriches connections by providing compassionate care and practical support to members of the congregation during life's transitions, hospitalizations, or other crises. Each of us are called to minister to those around us. And this team is the organizational center of pastoral care needs at Northwest. Also participating in this morning's service is Ben Gable. He's our congregational administrator. Thank you, Ben, as well as our Zoom host. Ken Hermanot, our choir director, and Alex, our pianist, Alex Myers, who are both running the AV, well, working on AV tech right now. We also have Eva Leventer, our acting director of religious education, and members of the Northwest Singers Choir. If you're a visitor and like to stay in touch with you, and we would like to stay in touch with you, so please fill out the visitor form you'll see in the chat box. If you're with us in person, you can fill out the visitor sign-in form in the atrium. As a reminder, the chat feature has been disabled except for chatting directly with the Zoom host if you're on Zoom. If you're having technical problems with Zoom, use the chat or raise hand function and someone will assist you. As an inclusive community for our trans, non-binary, and gender non-conforming congregants and guests, we encourage everyone to add their pronouns on Zoom. Click on the participants button at the bottom of the Zoom window, and then hover your mouse over your name in the participants list on the right side of the Zoom window. Click on rename to add your pronouns. Before we start our service today, we'd like you to greet your neighbors at this point with a wave from wherever you are. We'll start with those on Zoom. So if you can, switch your Zoom view, as I will, to gallery right now and wave to each other. Hello. We'll see you from the sanctuary. Well, we won't see you from the sanctuary, but we're waving to each other.
The back camera's on in the sanctuary, so.
The what?
The back camera's on, so people can see.
Oh, you can see, if you look in the back, you can see.
But the people
the back camera.
Yeah, so on Zoom.
Now, for those of you in the sanctuary, please turn to
the back. They waved.
Just wave. All right, wave. Everyone wave wherever you are. To those attending virtually, those in person, greet each other in the sanctuary, greet each other everywhere by waving. Good morning, all.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you so much. And now for our chalice lighting. I'll light a chalice here virtually. If you have them at home, please light them, and we will light one in the sanctuary as well. In response to Rabbi Marcus, who was a Holocaust survivor and a grieving father, when asked about the human soul, Albert Einstein wrote that a human being is part of the whole called by us universe, a part limited in time and place. He said that when a human experiences their thoughts and feelings as something separate from the rest, separate from the universe, it is a kind of optical delusion of consciousness. The striving to free oneself from this delusion is the one issue of true religion. May the light of this chalice represent lighting the way for us to see the truth of this delusion and the truth that we are all part of the same universe, the interconnected web of human resistance. Existence, human existence.
And now I'd like to introduce the next hymn, What Wondrous Love, hymn 18. Today is this week was Earth Day, and my story is about Julia Butterfly, who sat in a tree for 2 years to save a grove of the redwood forests. Luna and Me by Jenny Sue Kosetsky Shaw. Nearly 1,000 years ago, a redwood tree named Luna sprouted on a hillside. She grew up in a big family with strong roots. Julia was born some 13,000 full moons later. Her family was always moving. Upon arriving in each new town, she scurried off to explore the forests. She whispered her secrets to the animals, and soon the animals trusted Julia. Once, a butterfly rested on her finger all day, which is how she got her nickname, Butterfly. Luna, the redwood tree, held butterflies too, the wise spotted owls, friendly banana slugs, gentle turkey vultures, daring flying squirrels, shy foxes, and a menagerie of forest animals. Luna often reassured the animals, "If my arms seem full, it is not a chore. will gladly grow more." And she always did. And here's a picture of her because you can't see. One day, Butterfly wandered into an ancient cathedral of redwoods. Her heart beat wildly, thumpity, 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 thump. "Hello," a curious butterfly called up to Luna. "Is anyone home?" Broken branches stuck out of Luna's trunk like porcupine quills, and her side was tagged with a blue X. The redwood quivered with excitement, the way she always did when a new visitor arrived. Luna thought, "Do you like to climb trees? Give me a try, oh please." All aflutter, Butterfly called out, "Here I come," and she's climbing up. Huge tree. When she reached a comfortable perch, Butterfly introduced herself. "I am Butterfly, and you, Luna, are a ladder to the moon." Luna smiled inside. "Welcome, little butterfly. You are brave to have ventured up so high." Butterfly marveled at Luna's view of the world. She spied a river twisting this way and that passed Luna's countless brothers and sisters and cousins. But then she looked closer. Butterfly realized what the little blue X's meant on Luna's trunk. The tree would soon be chopped down and harvested. Butterfly's spirit wilted. She knew that people needed wood for building houses and furniture and for making paper books too. But trees make oxygen we breathe, she thought. Animals need trees for their homes, and without tree roots, mountainsides can wash away in heavy rains. Don't trees have a right to be? Suddenly, an idea sprouted deep inside Butterfly. "If I stay with Luna, no one will cut her down." Luna thought, "Then I will live another 1,000 years. But Butterfly would need a lot of support. Her friends were eager to help. Heave ho, up and they go. They hoisted up food, water, a stove, fuel, a tarp. She tightly packed her waste in bags until her friends returned to haul it away. And that night, she slept under a tapestry of starlight. The next morning, Butterfly awoke to voices far below. "How can we help? You are strong. We believe in you. Do you need anything more? Granola?" And then on the other side, "You are not allowed to be here. Go home. This is our tree. She'll come down when it storms." Up top, Butterfly held on tight to what she believed in, Luna. But living 180 feet high in a tree wasn't easy. Her tree house was the size of a sandbox. She cooked all her food in one small pot, and there wasn't a bathroom. She had to get creative. She collected rainwater to drink and bathe in, and first raindrops popped like popcorn on her tarp roof, lulling her to sleep. But soon the refreshing rains grew into fierce storms. Butterfly could barely hold on. Lightning struck all around and thunder shook her courage. "I want to go home," she yelled, but the howling wind swept her voice away. Butterfly climbed inside her cocoon and drifted to sleep, and in her dream, Luna spoke to her. She said, "I will hold you till the sky is calm and blue." And when she awoke, she discovered the sun, her friends, and her wings. Butterfly kicked off her shoes and spent the day turning her tree house into a home. Sorry. I think it'll still work. To exercise, she climbed barefoot to the top of Luna every morning. With sticky, sappy feet, she crawled like a spider up and down Luna's trunk. She explored each branch and met her tree mates, and still there was more. Deep within Luna's split trunk, Butterfly discovered a magical cave. It was alive. She found ferns, huckleberry fur, furry grass, moss, tiny mushrooms, bugs, chickadees, hummingbirds, chipmunks, and even a fox. Luna, Butterfly chirped, "You are a forest within a forest." Luna beamed with even brighter. Butterfly knew that what she had to do. Her friends gathered supplies she would need. Solar-powered phone, check. Hand-cranked solar radio, check. Books about ancient forests, check. Duct tape, check. Pens and paper for writing letters, check. Butterfly shared her stories of Luna and the forest to anyone who would listen. And many people did. Busy days whirled by and blurred into weeks and months, and a whole year. And then another. Butterfly worried, will Luna be safe? But then finally, on the 738th day, a message arrived. Butterfly, Luna is safe. No one will cut her down. Your friends. P.S. You can come down now. As her toes touched the soft earth, Butterfly cried, "We did it, Luna." But she didn't want to leave her friend. Butterfly hugged Luna goodbye and heard Luna's voice in her heart. "As you grow strong and tall toward the sun, remember to bend with the wind, and when you dream and dance in the rain, I'll be there, I'll be here doing the same." And then there's a sign that says, "The Luna Preserve, please tread lightly." So now we will have the children move on to the next thing, and I will have Brooklyn come up and carry the flame for us. Thank you, Brooklyn.
Okay. Yeah, each month Northwest shares 50% of the plate collection with a local charitable organization. The Social Justice Committee has selected Detroit Disability Power as our April plate collection recipient. The mission of Detroit Disability Power is to leverage and build the organizing and political power of the disability community to ensure the full inclusion of people with disabilities in Metro Detroit. So you can donate by texting. If those of you with a screen can see the text number or how to donate online. And for those of you here in person, checks and cash can be placed in the collection basket here in the front of the sanctuary.
Hello, my name is Rami, and I'm the community organizer at Detroit Disability Power. Detroit Disability Power's mission. Hello, my name is Rami, and I'm the community organizer at Detroit Disability Power. Detroit Disability Power's mission is to leverage and build the organizing and political power of the disability community to ensure the full inclusion of people with disabilities in Metro Detroit. During the pandemic, Detroit Disability Power and our partner organizations throughout Metro Detroit and Michigan have advocated for accessible testing, mass distributions, and vaccines for our disability community. This year, we campaigned for an increase to the City of Detroit's Office of Disability Affairs budget and just kicked off our campaign for the state of Michigan to release a COVID-19 plan for the disability community. Detroit Disability Power launched our membership program 1 year ago in April of 2021. And today we are proud to say we have 225 members. Members can choose to be in one of 4 action teams focused on issues important to our community, which is affordable and accessible housing, voting rights, healthcare, and K-12 education. Thank you so much, Northwest Unitarian Universalist Congregation, for choosing Detroit Disability Power to share your offering plate. You can learn more about us, Detroit Disability Power, and how to be a member at DetroitDisabilityPower.org. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. This is Joshua again. And today, as you heard, we are celebrating, we are honoring a very important part of this congregation, the Pastoral Care Team. And I'd like to introduce them now. They are, and if you're here if you're in the sanctuary, please stand up. Can we turn the camera to see the audience in the sanctuary? They are Melanie Deeds, Bruce Fowler, Karen Queck, Eva Leventer, Mary Mueller, Zena Stewart, Amanda Spurl, and David Young. So we really appreciate you. Yes, please applause. And at this time, Bruce and Mary and Amanda will offer 3 readings. One is called The Beautiful Kavana, which in Hebrew means intention, by Rabbi Yael Levy. The second is called Bread Hymn, with lyrics by Jim Connolly. And the third is called If We Understood by Anonymous. And they will offer these readings as our choir sings hymn number 168, One More Step. If the choir's playing, we cannot hear it online.
Come, I will take you out. I will deliver you to a new place. I will help you transform. I will bring you into relationship and you will know your beloved place amid the myriad of all life. I can't, the soul cries. I am so afraid. Of course you are, the infinite responds. You have been in the narrow place for so very long. But I will lift you up. So just for a moment, you will see the expanse of possibilities. Then you will decide what is more frightening, to stay where you are or to step out towards what might be.
Let us learn to be like bread, to have the common touch, to give ourselves that others live, and hunger not so much. Oh, may we be like well-made bread, like bread that's made just so, be kneaded, formed, and fortified, and given room to grow. And let our crust be not so thick that we our goodness hide. Let those who seek their needs from us find tenderness inside. For those in need whose lives are pained by hunger, hurt, or strife, oh, help us to be their bread, to be their staff of life.
Curtains, oh my bad. Could we draw back the curtains that surround each other's lives? See the naked heart and spirit, know what spur the action gives. Often we could find it better, purer than we judged we could. We could love each other better if we only understood. Could we judge all deeds by motives? See the good and bad within. Often we should love the sinner, all the while we loathe the sin. Could we know the powers working to overthrow integrity? We could judge each other's errors with more patient charity. If we knew the cares and trials, knew the effort all in vain, and the bitter disappointment, understood the loss and gain, would the grim eternal roughness seem, I wonder, just the same? Should we help where now we hinder? Could we pity where we blame? We judge each other harshly, knowing not life's hidden force, knowing not the font of action is less turbulent at its source. Seeing not amid the evil all the golden grains of good, oh, we'd love each other better if we only understood.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Pastoral care. Pastoral care provides, as was said, practical and emotional support during life's transitions. And that is the need that's most often requested. Pastoral care, however, is also, and arguably primarily, spiritual support. What does that mean? Well, we are all called to minister to each other. And in the words of the theologian Thomas Merton, our job is to love others without stopping to inquire whether or not they are worthy. So pastoral care, broadly stated, is that act of offering unconditional love in order to repair and lift the spirit. And unlike purely logistical support, in attending to pastoral care, one must envision and embrace spirit and the divine as you understand it. As a humanist, I acknowledge the collective human spirit, representative of meaning that can be found in the world, in our connection to the earth, in relationships, in doing good by giving of ourselves. That is the spirit I recognize. I acknowledge a connection to the larger and profound divine that is the living energy that pervades all life within and between us all. That is the divine I recognize. So this act of loving freely, it seems like a straightforward thing. It even seems simple to love freely, but the execution of the same, it involves many, many complexities and risks. And that is why today we formally acknowledge with gratitude those who have undertaken the centering of this essential task within our congregation, our pastoral care team. When we undertake pastoral care, we are committing to a loving connection where one living being invites another to be with them emotionally and spiritually. And when doing so, we are opening ourselves to vulnerability as the person offering is doing the same. The author, Brene Brown, frames this as loving wholeheartedly, even if it hurts. And according to Brown, vulnerability is courage. Pastoral care takes courage. Plus, unlike a doctor who can often diagnose, treat, and cure a patient, most pastoral interactions don't provide a cure or solution to a problem, but rather a partner in struggle. Another person, another life to encourage and support as you work through whatever you need. Let's get a little more specific to help understand, when would one need pastoral care or spiritual uplift? The pastoral care team is always notified for joys and concerns, for sorrowful times and for celebration. And if you ever hear of any of these, please reach out to any of us and communicate them to the team. However, since pastoral care, as I said, is more than this much needed support, the car rides, the food deliveries, the convalescent visits, etc. Let's consider situations that would benefit from pastoral care, which often go unrecognized, therefore untreated. The word pastor, it also means shepherd. So the less obvious pastoral functions are indeed things that a shepherd might be responsible for. Protection of the flock, making provisions, shielding, refreshing, restoring, strengthening, encouragement, comforting, guiding, and tending to all manner of needs to keep the individuals healthy, happy, and thriving together. Therefore, pastoral care is also something like just someone to talk to or to sit with or to brag to because other people don't understand how important a success you had, or to complain to because other people take a hurt that you feel less than seriously, or to cheer you on, to ground you, to pray with you if that is what you do, to lift your spirit, to sing and dance with you, to listen to a poem you wrote, to listen to a plan or goal you're excited or unsure about, to scream to about the craziness in the world, to just talk to about a tough issue with which you're wrestling, to problem solve, to repair a relationship, to comfort if a relationship is ending, to celebrate a relationship that's new, to dine or to have coffee with, or even just to share a joke. And sometimes, in fact, often, our spirits need something we don't even understand until we ask and get it. So I encourage you all, ask. We're here. Spiritual care is simply about human connection. The author Susan Pinker declares that Social contact is a biological need. It's like eating, drinking, or sleeping. Our bodies react to the loss of that interaction, that social contact, the way we react to hunger. We need to have a slap on the back or a handshake or a hug, literally or figuratively. And pastoral care takes that even a step further and offers a spiritual hug. And if you're like me, I need metaphors like that. I need a metaphor like that. Pastoral care is a spiritual hug. So I can better visualize this theological abstraction that is pastoral care. Given that, I'd like to take a moment to travel with you very briefly on a trip back in time to 2019, just after I first began my internship here at Northwest. I'm going to share a video that takes you into the room where my intern committee met. And one of my first assignments I was given in the class that oversaw my intern experience was I was to preach for 10 minutes on my personal theology using a single concept. So here's what the concept was that I came up with. I'm sharing a video for those of you who can't see in the sanctuary of me back in 2019 in a room at Northwest, and I'm saying 3 hugs. Play that again so you can hear it. 3 hugs. Coincidentally, my concept was free hugs. 2019. Over the past few years of seminary and my internship at Northwest, that personal theology has evolved to help me conceptualize what it means to be a minister, what it means to be a pastoral caregiver, and why that task is as important as it is complex. I talked about courage and risk in pastoral care. So even in that initial framing of my personal theology as free hugs, there is potential for harm, for risk. Not everyone can give or receive hugs, physically or emotionally. There are considerations of consent involved with hugging. Unsolicited hugs can cause pain. Even with consent, we cannot expect that someone will hug back with the same intensity or at all. When I gave that sermon to my intern committee in 2019, I could not have ever foreseen that very soon thereafter, just hugging another human being could severely sicken them and even be considered a malicious act, given the pandemic. Therefore, I have reconceived my personal theology as I wrote this sermon and my charge as a pastoral caregiver, at least for now, as offering free spiritual hugs. So let me share with you all what I visualize when I attend a pastoral care, in hopes that if you share in this visualization, you might conceive of the experience in a different way, more viscerally, bringing sort of out of your head, thinking about it, and into your heart, which is what we need to do. So everyone in the sanctuary, everyone online, close your eyes, open your eyes, whatever you want to do. I'd like you to imagine yourself connecting with and just absorbing into your being everything that is positive in life, all the positive life spirit in this moment right now. This is the moment we have together in beloved community. This sacred time is so positive. Absorb that in. Sense that divine humanity, that energy of life on earth that sustained and strengthened our ancestors and continues to flow through us and into future generations. You might imagine, you might picture it as some sort of bright light in your body, or a beautiful darkness engulfing you, or a soothing sound, or a feeling. I like the squishy thing you squeeze when you're stressed, or some other sensation, a smell or a taste. So imagine it somewhere in your being, in your body, in your head, in your chest, or as it is for me, I imagine it in my belly. And witness in your mind is that positive energy, however it appears to you, imagine it increasing, growing to spread through your entire being, your entire physical being, your entire soul, out into your fingertips and toes, through your limbs, into the top of your head, just filling you entirely with spiritual power. This is what we take advantage of, this gift of our shared power to give us the courage to be vulnerable and supportive We fill ourselves with the power of life. Now continue to visualize that spirit filling you to bursting and then surrounding you as it expands. It's all around us. And in this state of being enveloped by a loving spirit, this is how we greet a pastoral care charge. This is how I come to meet somebody. In that meeting, I freely share this energy of spirit to encompass both of us, to flow through us, to join us together in a spiritual embrace. And let's do that now. Imagine that here and now, your energy, the energy of others in the room, that light, that darkness, that smell, that everything, it's co-mingling, it's filling the physical space in the sanctuary, it's traveling through the wires and the signals online to enter and fill our virtual spaces that connect us. And now hold it, hold that energy, hold it, be in that positive energy, be alive in that energy, sustain the spiritual embrace, hold it and know that when you share space with others in pastoral care or otherwise, you can sustain that as long as it is needed and through whatever may be revealed. Have faith in the ability of unconditional love to provide what is needed. And have faith that that love spreads. When you take advantage of pastoral care, you can be deputized as a pastoral caregiver yourself. And if for no other reason, you should take advantage of pastoral care so that you may pass on that love. As you confront the trials and tribulations of the world, as anyone does, take comfort in knowing you too can wield the most powerful weapon that is unconditional love. As the world fights literal wars right now, as well as ideological wars that divide humanity more violently than I've seen in my 51 years. As ties between friends and loved ones are torn asunder by the weapons of hate and fear, we must deploy love to heal our spirits and our society. The time to easily change the mind of the many who have been swayed by disinformation and fear-mongering is unfortunately probably past. But attending to a person's, another human being's heart and spirit with unconditional love, engulfing them in a spiritual hug, as we did today, is incredibly potent and powerful. And frankly, the only way to successfully retaliate against hatred, and fear. Now, don't be mistaken. It's not going to be easy or quick. And building a beloved community even in our faith, let alone in the world at large, will take a level of courage and commitment that has heretofore been more elusive than we care to admit. And thankfully, I believe we're finally approaching an understanding of just how much risk, sacrifice, hard work, patience, compassion, empathy, and extreme love are needed to achieve a truly equitable human society. We also understand and embrace with joy at long last that we will forever remain in the process of this sacred task. So we need to practice. And so, as the life Unitarian Universalists we aspire to, as humanity aspires to, enters our field of perception, it is incumbent upon each of us to take hold with every ounce of spiritual strength we can muster and hug each other intensely, to know the world we want and need, our faith. We all must commit to setting the example of how to love more courageously than the world has ever known, frankly. Our spiritual care team is here to help us and to lead that effort. Love is complex and difficult. But as the theologian Paul Tillich says, love, it is the drive toward that unity of the separated, to reconnect and make whole that which has become or appears fragmented. And we are fragmented, we're bifurcated in this society. We need love to make us whole. Our pastoral care team has committed to fulfill the promise of that love, which brings spirits together, as scary as it is, and to model that love for us all. So as long as you are part of this community, remember, you are not alone in struggle. I urge you to take advantage of free spiritual hugs. And you get a second one free with the purchase of the first. I'm kidding. From now on, we will have pastoral care team members assigned to be present for worship online and in person. So please note that if you have some emotion come up in worship, there will be someone to sit with. after today's service, and you'll find out about that in the newsletter. You're also always welcome to contact me or any member of the Pastoral Care team to request care, and I encourage you to do so, even if the only reason is because you feel an inexplicable need. No reason other than that. Please check the newsletter and website this week also to find out about a new spiritual care small group gathering that I will lead both in person and online. Hopefully we'll find a time, we'll put it in the newsletter, and we'll figure out how we're going to care for each other in that space. By exercising love that heals and moves us toward connection, uncovering relationships, interdependence, and wholeness, we fulfill our Unitarian Universalist second, third, and seventh principles. We commit to accept one another, promote spiritual growth, act with compassion in human relations, and we respect the interdependent, the love-dependent web of all existence, of which we are a part. And now we will continue with our choir singing hymn number 124, Be That Guide. As we extinguish the light of our candle, not going to blow it on my computer. As we extinguish the light of our chalice, virtually and in person, I offer a prayer from a Rabbi Naomi Levy, who's actually here in Los Angeles, where I am. And she writes, may you begin to have glimpses of magical threads of connection. May those precious flashes of insight light up your way in all your days. Amen.